What is this? A movie for ants? How can we expect people to see the movie if they can't fit inside the building? Check out my review of Ant-Man!
Hello, big kids. It's time for your
Big review.
What up, big kids? Here's my big review of Ant-Man. This will be the non-spoiler review. Before we get to that, I just want to plug real quick that me and my brother Corey are doing a new channel, weekly video cast called The Long Shot. You can hear us talking about Comic-Con, and we're going to be talking about weekly geekly stuff. So link is in the description, or click on the annotation for that. Now let's talk about Ant-Man. So, oh my god, Marvel can't do any wrong, seriously. They have proven that they can make characters like Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man not only like awesome characters, or they are awesome characters, but awesome movies. So let's talk about the cast. Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd. I've been watching him for years, from Clueless and everything from Anchorman to I Love You Man and Love Him for the Old Virgin. So many movies, and he is an awesome comedic actor, but he can prove that he's a superhero. And I really love that they made Scott Lang the Ant-Man. And I'll get to Hank Pym here in a sec, but I really love the dynamic with him and his daughter, and him and Hank Pym and Hope, and yeah, he's just, Paul Rudd is so likable. And one thing, I can't believe he's 46. He still looks the same even like 20 years later, right? It's like, what, he must be using Sex Panther to keep himself youthful, I don't know, but anyway. And we gotta talk about Michael Douglas as Hank Pym. Wow, this guy he is just amazing actor, and I loved his Hank Pym. It was really great that the movie shifted focus between Scott's story and Hank Pym's story, and the whole theme is about fathers and daughters, which I really love. And even though some people might be upset that Hank Pym isn't Ant-Man, one thing, and it's just a minor spoiler, we do see a bit of him as Ant-Man, which is great. So for people who love the Hank Pym Ant-Man, you do get to see that. And they could totally, Marvel can do like a prequel film about Hank Pym, Ant-Man, and the Wasp, and yeah, it'd be awesome. But yeah, let's talk about Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne, or Hope Pym, whichever you want to call her. She was awesome. She's badass, and I couldn't get enough of her. I won't spoil it out. I'm gonna do a spoiler review talking about things, but I'll just say that there is big things in the works for her, and I hope that Marvel really, because they set up something for her, and I cannot wait for that. So let's talk about Corey, what's his name? He plays Yellow Jacket, Darren Cross. They definitely take bits of the character and Hank Pym's Yellow Jacket persona and make him more evil. So when I heard Yellow Jacket was going to be the villain, it made sense for the sense of the story. And this movie is directed by Peyton Reed, but it was going to be directed, and it was also co-written by Edgar Wright. I love Edgar Wright, who directed, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and he was going to originally direct it, and it's sad that him and Marvel had a falling out, but definitely this movie has Edgar Wright's touch on this movie, and you definitely feel it. And you kind of wish he did direct it, but at the same time, I feel like Peyton Reed, who's known for comedy, really brought Edgar Wright's direction into the movie. And one thing I'll say, going back, I love the cast, the supporting cast in this movie. Michael Pena, like, he is hilarious, and the other guys, and they're like, T.I. is great, and there's that one guy that was in The Dark Knight that I don't know, like Harvey Dent interrogated him. He's one of Scott's crew, and then there's other characters in here. I won't say. I'll say that to my spoiler review, but you'll be very happy, and it definitely connects to the bigger Marvel universe. Now the plot. So one thing I will say. The movie starts out a little bit slow. There's a great intro scene, which I'll talk more about in the spoiler review, which has some characters that you know. And then it has to set up Scott, and you see this in the trailers, he was in jail, and he's trying to do normal life, do right by his daughter. And that section of the movie seemed a little slow. Once he got in the Ant-Man suit, I felt like the movie picked up, and then from then on it was really good. But that small section in the beginning kind of derailed the movie in a little bit, where it kind of like how I felt about Jurassic World, where there's just a beginning scene, or just a beginning part of the movie where it's just like, oh, come on, and then once it gets to that one part, then it's like it picks up and it's great, because I like seeing him training as Ant-Man, but before he gets to the Ant-Man part, it just seems like this part that could have maybe been cut. And the movie is only like 2 hours long, so it's even shorter than Age of Ultron. But I feel like that part. I know they were trying to explain the Scott's backstory and everything, but it just felt like, oh, come on, just. But besides that, once it gets going, holy crap! This movie, the action and visuals are just mind blowing. It's probably some of the best. Small shrinking special effects I've ever seen in a movie, and going back to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and it really just blows my mind. The ants in here are just cute and awesome, and there's so many great action sequences. In fact, this movie is probably one of the best 3D movies I've seen in a while. I definitely would recommend seeing this in 3D over 2D, hands down. It just looked amazing. Yeah, so the action and visuals, and one thing I like about the movie, no pun intended, it's definitely more of a small scale movie. It's a heist movie. It's not, even though the plot is about saving the world, it's really more a smaller scale than how Age of Ultron is. And they acknowledge Age of Ultron. This takes place after Age of Ultron. So yeah, but really, like I said, even though there was a little bit of slow pacing in the beginning, once it picked up when him in the Ant-Man suit, it just... I loved it from then on there, and really I love the cast, I love the visuals. There's so many great Easter eggs, which I'll talk about in the spoiler review, and yeah, and there's a mid-credit scene and after-credit scene, so definitely stay tuned for that. So with that said, I give Ant-Man a 4.5 out of 5. Like I said, besides that little beginning turning down, I absolutely love it. Marvel can do no wrong, and definitely if you're a fan of Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas, and just the whole Marvel universe, definitely get this chance. The visuals are mind-blowing, and it's really a funny movie too. So many funny parts, and definitely not like about quips, but just funny situations. And it's probably one of the funniest Marvel movies out there, so definitely go see it. And for more, check out Reptile for cool Anchorman Marvel shirts like this, and check out more on my website at SeanXLong.com. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, links in the description. I'm Sean Long, may I live long and love life.
Ripped.
Marvel Studios. 60% of the time, their movies work every time. Also, make sure to check out all my coverage from San Diego Comic-Con 2015. So many toys, so many toys. Check it out, and link is in the description, or click on the annotation. Thank you.